Secret friends, unite!
Welcome to the Secret Friends Unite podcast, episode 408. This is your guide to the geek side. And if you want to listen to our podcasts, you can subscribe to all of them on our network feed. Code 47 for Star Trek, Holocron Chronicles for Star Wars, Co-op Mode for video games, and SFU Prime for all things geek. Once you've rated us and recommended for others, then you can go and watch our podcast. See, apparently there's choreography in the background of some of these episodes. My background. You can see certain people who are dog sitting as they may in a different place. Go to YouTube, rate us, subscribe, do all those things. I am one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra, joined by Charlie Carden.
Hello. Yeah, my water jug, by the way, recognized by a famous celebrity earlier this week during an interview that we were doing. I can't tell you more.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like water jugs are like.
No, I went to take a sip of water, and the celebrity, who you'll be hearing from next week when we publish it, said, "That's the biggest water jug I've ever seen." So, yay. I made it.
It is legitly huge.
Recognize this. That's like the trucker. When you see truckers, they've got those like huge mugs, and it's
like the 84-ounce like thing from like the 7-Eleven that you just refill with coffee. Yeah.
There's another Simpsons reference when Homer became a trucker. Liz was riding with him, looked at his pet pills, and was like, "Ooh, trucker's choice."
Absolutely. And someone who's not drinking in a ridiculously sized beverage container is Katie Q. Welcome.
I just have my normal can of bubbly, so...
Ooh, bubbly, that's our preferred choice. I have peach bubbly with honey. And today I'm drinking sparkling ice lemonade.
Gotcha. Which it didn't show up on your background. It was just like... Blah, blah, blah.
You don't know what I'm drinking. Yes.
You don't know. It could be vodka. Mystery. It is vodka. Oh,
yes.
Boy.
So, this is going to be our 2023 preview. But, so it should be a lot of fun looking ahead. We did a little bit of it last episode, but this is going to be really everything coming, which is going to be in the 2023, which should be a lot of fun. Everybody's take on that. But before we really get into the thing, we've got a community question we want to get into. We were supposed to do this last week, Charlie. So shame on us.
Shame.
But I thought this was a pretty good one, especially with Katie being on. We can kind of get her opinion of this. But Raul Giver, he's been on the show before. He says, what's your opinion on leak culture? Do you feel it does more harm than good in all things geek, where it's often rampant? So in regards to leaks, not, these are kind of like something gets out there before it's really meant to.
Right.
It's not necessarily rumors, but it's like, it's almost like spoilers before something comes out really far in advance. Like, I don't know. And I guess what would you consider a leak? Is it like someone took pictures of someone in costume in a thing? Oh, it looks horrible. Blah, blah, and they have their opinion.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog, which actually it did look horrible. Well, that wasn't really a leak because it was a trailer.
That was the trailer.
Yeah,
that was the official.
That was official.
Yeah. I'm not thinking of a big, leak.
Is it story leaks? Is it story leaks? So like, say like a movie, here's the plot in advance.
Right. A script gets published or something. I don't know that happens the way maybe it used to a lot in the old days. I don't know. I can't think of a one singular one that really stands out that's like that. But yeah, I would definitely say it's not a good thing because, people enjoy surprises, and that's part of the thrill of watching any, movie, TV show, whatever it is to have a surprise here and there. Because leak culture it's like a pre-spoiler. I don't think that that's a good thing. So I would say it's definitely harmful.
Yeah, and I feel like it maybe has changed a little bit since Endgame, where before it was everybody was constantly trying to find like every little tidbit beforehand, and then with Endgame and Marvel kind of creating that like sphere of silence around it, and with it being such a cultural phenomenon of like, please do not spoil anything for me because I haven't seen it yet. Mm-hmm. And I think that as far as like the geek community goes, that was probably one of the coolest things about it is that there was just this like 2-week hush, at least, of like everybody just respecting everybody else and being like, we're not going to tell you what happened. I'm just going to tell you whether or not I liked it. And I feel like we've gotten more to where like the spoilers or the leaks are more rumors, or it's like, hey, we found out that like so-and-so is going to be playing this character. Like I remember when they said that they found out that like Titania was going to be in She-Hulk.
Right.
And I was like, I don't really
character,
consider I was like, okay, yeah, maybe they didn't quite mean for that to get out, but that's something that's just going to create buzz and press versus it being something that's like spoiled for me.
Right.
So
yeah. So controlled and verified. And of course, the rumor culture is completely out of control. There are well-known clickbait sites, and there's all kinds of social media, Twitter, Facebook, what have you, that there's all stuff running around. Somebody dropped something on Twitter. The MCU Direct Twitter handle dropped, Robert Downey Jr. is back for Avengers Secret Wars and for blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I even replied to the guy, I'm like, I don't actually see that on any other news outlet, so I'm going to say no.
Or if he is, it's going to be like, okay, yeah, probably because he's a Skrull, obviously. It's like there's going to be a very good reason. It's not going to be that like they're bringing back Tony Stark. It's going to be a different version.
Right.
So I think as far as like leak culture, I would say that the rumor culture around geek stuff is absolutely rampant and really annoying because there's so many sites that make these clickbait articles and like I remember when they were doing What If and what's his face? Tom Holland didn't voice Spider-Man. And they're like, Tom Holland's out of the MCU. And I'm like, no, he's not.
Give him an inch, they'll take a mile. Yeah, exactly.
And it was just this article being like, oh, well, he didn't voice his character. So, but he's on for, Spider-Man 3. And like, then obviously he's not out of the MCU. Right. He just didn't voice this. Like a lot of people didn't. It's fine.
Well, I was thinking of like leaks when you see shots of like people on set, you see costumes, and of course they don't look good because it's out of context and might be like the version of the costume that they're using for something, and it's like, oh, it's going to be horrible. Look at these costumes. Like, you're taking it out of context. You're taking it with no actual finished footage. You've got a guy walking around smoking a cigarette, drinking a Starbucks in his like battle suit. It just looks weird. Yeah.
And it's a paparazzi shot from a tree 3 miles away, and he's, standing next to a garbage can, and it's just, you're right, with no context. It's like, well, here's a guy who looks like he, knocked over a cosplay shop or something. It's ridiculous. So, but got to have those clicks. It's all about click culture, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think seeing those set shots are really cool. And I think knowing, like you said, take it with a grain of salt of being like, obviously this is unfinished. They haven't taken it through special effects. They're going to be putting finishing textures and lighting and all of that kind of stuff on it. So like, I remember they released images of the Mighty Thor of Natalie Portman as the Mighty Thor. And I thought those looked awesome. I mean, just because like you could see her like bulking up, you could see like how much work she had put in to look like Thor. And I thought that was really, really cool. Like I love seeing those just because, again, I think it's just more press and it's a really fun way to get kind of like a little bit of a teaser without giving too much away because you don't know what the finished product is going to look like.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Leaks. Yeah. Like we said, there's so much secrecy around things. Leaks, like legitimate leaks, just don't happen much anymore. Rumors, spoilers. That's another discussion because we know the problem with those. And we've struggled with spoilers and things like that for when things come out. It's like, what's long enough? And it's like, well, if you're really that concerned, you probably see it right away. I get it. People can't, but it's like, unless you like mute Twitter, you stay off socials. Like I said, my famous one was I was spoiled on House of Cards, and I was watching something that was, they never would cover spoilers, but it was on like Good Morning America or something like that.
Some guy just said, and then so-and-so tossed the girl into the train or whatever, exactly. So,
yeah. You can only control that stuff so much, but
I always love it with those shows that don't normally cover it, and they'll be like, and then they'll say like Obama, and they'll be like, oh, I guess spoilers, and I'm like, well,
bro,
you can't have the tag after the event, like. Come on. It's too late now.
Oh, did we say spoilers? And like, it's a spoiler cast, or it's, it's just, and we call it the spoiler cast. But there is no barometer to spoiler culture, as far as what's long enough. There's just no way. I think everybody has to ease up the reins a little bit. Is
like the unspoken rule is a month. And then at that point you just put like, hey, this is spoilers ahead for this. Yeah. And then you can go ahead and like, that's all of the geek stuff that I've read You know, and obviously I'm just talking about like geek culture,
Right.
you know, or pop culture stuff.
Well, at least in our Discord, we have little separate spoiler channels where here's a spoiler for Andor, here's a spoiler channel for blah, blah, blah. And so, so don't go
Just remember to mute those, though, because if you don't mute those, if you have the Discord app,
pop up.
It'll pop up and you're like, oh, crap, I didn't want that.
I know, it's the never ending. But anyway.
Yeah, and it's funny because now Disney, in like their movies, when they drop, like the week even after, they're spoiling their own damn movies. I mean, it's like, which is just so dumb.
They're just assuming people have seen it, you know, making bad assumptions. So anyway, cool. Great question, and we definitely love to see more of that. I dropped something on Discord. I guess I forgot to check it to see if anybody, you know, had any thoughts about 2023 for us. So maybe I should look at that. While Todd, you tell us about this cover that you chose, which I don't know if I really have the words for what's going on the cover of Human Fly number 8 from, I'm guessing, 1978. You have it right here.
Yeah, I have not heard of this comic, and the great thing about when you just start over with numbers, you find the weirdest comics, because most comics make it to like issue 10, so at least you're going to get a wacky cavalcade of like stuff you've never heard before. The Human Fly, I don't know anything about the Human Fly, but we got this great cover. Apparently he's got like the side cape in his little corner bubble, but he's not wearing it in the cover, but he's riding a rocket skateboard, apparently. It's called Mayhem at the Metropolitan. He's the wildest superhero ever because he's real. A charity stunt flings the Fly into conflict against the incredible Copperhead, who was a real villain. And in the corner, special guest, the White Tiger.
Now, the White Tiger I know because that was from Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man. So that was right around the same time that title launched in 76. So it's a couple years later. But I don't know the Human Fly. I know there was a Copperhead who later went on to be in that Society of Serpents, which was this serpent gang. It was big in Mark Gruenwald's Captain America around the late 80s. But this is just so much. I can't believe Spider-Man's not in it because this is just totally his vibe. It's probably even the same artist, maybe the same writer.
Apparently he is... there is a flashback of Spider-Man in this comic as well, Charlie. So it's got everything.
Oh, it's probably written by Jerry Conway or one of those big 70s Spider-Man writers. But the Fly was the Spider-Man villain. He was, you know, just like you expected, a guy crossed over with the Fly. But this dude is, you know, what's going on with this? And he's what is he carrying? Like a cane or something?
It looks like a cane with a gold
bauble on top.
The top of it. Yeah, bauble. Bauble's a good word for that.
He's riding a flame surfboard. It's pretty sweet.
He looks like, I'm gonna say it looks like the Human Torch doing a bad cosplay of the Silver Surfer.
There you go. That's a bad cross up. And lots of 70s people like, oh, this dude right here is what he's got something written on his t-shirt. I wonder if it's something raunchy. You see this guy in the mid frame?
And Copperhead, it's his first appearance, apparently. And this is not the Copperhead I thought it was, which was one of the Serpent Society.
Exactly. So that's what I said.
I don't even know what's happening in this comic.
Yeah,
but, you know, it's...
Is it the same Copperhead from Luke Cage that, Marshala Ali?
Oh, might be. That's
I might have just destroyed his name. I apologize.
That's a good get. Somebody on Twitter add us, please, and let us know if, you know, our complete lack of research has somehow rubbed you the wrong way, or if you're interested and want to learn more and want to fill us in at Secret Friends U. I'd love to hear.
Oh no, that was Coppermouth, wasn't it?
It was Coppermouth.
Cottonmouth.
And mouth. There we go.
This man is literally made of copper. So
wait, is Copperhead
the molten man?
Is Copperhead a villain in DC?
Probably, because
I thought so. Yeah.
Didn't he bite in the Justice League cartoon? Didn't he bite Batman and poison him?
Copperhead is a snake as well, so I think he'd also be part of the Serpent. So we don't know. We gave this comic way too much time.
It's completely spinning out of control. Well, let's not let it take time away from our next exciting destination. We got to get down to the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Madam Webb, our 122-year-old news correspondent, awaits with all the hottest tips. So let's go.
Now it's time for Madam Webb's Rumors and News. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, Madam Webb. It's almost 2023 when you're listening to this, Madam Webb. I don't know if you thought you'd live this long, but I'm assuming you're just happy to be alive in another year of getting underpaid by SFU. So thank you.
Well, Todd, two things. A, she is listening to this in 2023 because it comes out in the future from when we're recording it. But Her birthday is January 1, so she is 123. So, Madam Webb, happy birthday. Let's give her another shiny loony that we stole out of Mark's wallet.
So she's a New Year baby. Oh,
She's
wonderful.
a New Year. Yeah, she's baby old New Year. Yes.
It's like that Rudolph's Shiny New Year, where it was Baby New Year, where they had to find the baby with the big ears. And
yes. That was her. That
classic.
was her.
Oh, that was her. Oh, good.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That's her origin story.
They missed the spider powers that Baby New Year had in that one.
Oh my goodness.
It's her origin story. Wow, who even knew? I did not.
It is incredible. Born in 1900, old as Indiana Jones.
Yes. So our first story this week is we've got this trailer for this movie. It's called 65. It's got Kylo Ren versus dinosaurs. This movie is like, the trailer is a bait and switch. It starts off in outer space. You've got Adam Driver flying, looking to escape on a ship with basically, we don't know what's happening, crash lands on a planet. And then the flim-flam happens. You find out that he has gone back to Earth 65 million years in the past. So it's him with laser guns taking on dinosaurs. He finds another person. This looks awesome. I don't even think.
This is just Planet of the Apes meets Jurassic Park.
Right, exactly. Well, but and the dinosaur eats both of them. Crunch, crunch.
I was going to say, because I was hoping though, Katie, we aren't seeing dinosaurs wear like suits and things and being crazy weird.
Oh no, that's
that
what I'm saying. It's
better.
Jurassic Park. I think it would have honestly been better. This seemed like someone wanted to make another Jurassic Park movie, but wanted to have future tech in it, and we're trying to figure out how to make that happen.
I'm signed up.
At the end of it, does he go back and he lands in front of what we see as the Lincoln Memorial, and it's got a Velociraptor head on it? So
I hope so.
Raptor Ham Lincoln.
There you go. Yeah, not Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. When do we get? Oh, geez, this is out at the end of this week.
It says it's going nationwide release January 13th. So so this is going to be. I mean, is this Adam Driver's like first I guess lead role? Like he is an action guy now?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, he's had lots of lead roles, but yeah, as far as him being like he's trying to get into the Stallone Schwarzenegger space, who knows? Kind of cool.
I mean, they do, because in the trailer you find that he finds this little girl and he's trying to like protect her. So I'm imagining they might lean into his more like emotional capabilities as far as acting goes, to show maybe some dynamics between her and like father-son role, which would be cool. I did watch the trailer and think of you, Todd, of just like, this just looks like stupid, dumb fun. I bet Todd is going to love this, because I can't imagine there's going to be much story to it, but it's just, if you want to just watch someone shoot up some dinosaurs and all of that fun stuff, with like weird, crazy future tech, this is your movie.
So where did the little girl come from? Was she like also
they
on the
had
ship
people on the ship. Yep. He had, I think, like 60 people in cryo. And then, he found one of them.
The other 59, fuck them. They're dead. We don't care.
We don't really know.
Everything else was on fire. That's okay.
Yeah.
Those aren't good odds.
That was pretty much it.
Those aren't good odds. You got a 1 in 60 chance of surviving cryo sleep.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, I don't like it. Oh my goodness. Well, that's fun. Yeah, this will definitely be a go see. I'm totally down with this. So, Todd, I remember when we started recording, I couldn't get you to watch a horror movie. Katie's just kind of on her journey of doing horror movies, but now science is getting involved. What's going on here, Todd?
Yeah, I love this, that they are applying science to determine what the scariest movies of all time are. And they're using, essentially your reaction internally, blood pressure, pulse, all of these things, perspiration probably, to figure out what really is scary, and seeing, what your reaction is to something, which is great. It takes away the more of like, well, was it a jump scare, or is it more of a thriller, or is it like, oh, creeps you out? Is it just gross? This is really just saying from your body perspective. And this was the creator of the study was Daniel Clifford, and he said, with more people than ever facing Halloween at home, our Science of Scare study was designed to help people find the most scientifically scary films ever made, to save them the time of searching through thousands of titles. Interesting. So the study measured resting heart rates of 50 individuals of different ages while they watched over 100 hours of scary movies. When all that was said and done, the study determined a list of the 35 scariest movies. At the top was Sinister, a movie I've never seen.
Sinister. What? Have I seen that movie? What's that one about?
That is this movie with Ethan Hawke, where he is a writer. He is renting a house that a murder occurred in. He then finds like 8mm film reels, and he starts watching it. And I've watched the 100 Scariest Moments on History or of all time, and they showed this film, and it's creepy scary. So basically he's trying to get inspired because he's kind of been struggling by like real murders and death, and these it's almost like snuff films of found footage, but of actual really like scary things happening in this house. So I'm not sure if it's part of like a series or anything. It's tied to anything else, but essentially,
no, I don't think I've seen that one. But yeah, that sounds terrifying. But
so the average resting heart rate of 50 individuals was 65 beats per minute. During Sinister, the average jumped to 86 beats per minute, which equates to a 32% increase. No other movie saw a higher rise in average beats per minute. 2010's Insidious, however, was crowned the king of the jump scares, as it had a particular scare that saw the average BPM rise to 133 beats per second during it. Holy crap! People died.
I mean, I know we've seen that movie. I don't even know if I remember the jump scare, but it must have been. I mean, those movies have great ones. You turn around, you close the door, and you're like, it's that kind of deal. So.
So rounding out the rest of the top 10, The Conjuring came in third, Hereditary in fourth, Paranormal Activity in fifth, It Follows sixth. Conjuring 2 took home seventh place, while The Babadook, The Descent, and The Visit were crowned eighth, ninth, and 10th. I would say all of those were like decent horror films. No schlock. No schlock. Right. No the stuff. Right. No Gremlins, or not Gremlins. What is it?
Troll. No gremlins. Troll. All the leprechaun.
So of these, Katie, you're on your journey with horror. What do you feel like right now you would deem the scariest, or the movie that like brought out a most visceral reaction in you?
I've actually seen The Babadook. That's the most recent one that I've watched. And I do love that it's made the top 10 list. That one was definitely the scariest as far as the ones that I have watched. I feel like that one gave me the most like, woo. But also I just loved the themes of like generational trauma and, mental illness and having to cope with those continually versus it being something that's just like, oh no, and now the monster's dead. No, it now lives in your basement and you have to deal with it repeatedly because it does impact the entire family if you don't.
Yeah.
Good. Family togetherness. Let's go find
family togetherness. Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's good stuff.
So I know that as far as ones that Aaron has talked about, I know that Hereditary and It Follows are, I believe, in his top 10. And I do believe that he has watched Sinister.
Ooh.
And they do mention Midsommar, which I know he's watched and told me that I cannot watch.
That sounds not so great. Todd, we ought to slap Sinister on the in 2023 on our October, spookathon, because I don't know. I mean, if it doesn't kill us.
Well, let me get my heart monitor set up.
Yeah, right. Let me get my nitroglycerin pills.
Yeah, that would be fun if you did wear a heart monitor during that, like have your Apple Watch or something set up so you could record your beats per minute and see which one actually caused your highest raise in heart rate.
Oh my gosh. It's science.
Yeah, quick aside, the latest Simpsons Halloween episode had the Babadook, like a take on that. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. They did a great episode this year. They did some really cool stuff. So highly recommend it.
I just love that the Babadook is a bi icon. That's my favorite.
Oh, really? My goodness.
Yeah. It started as a joke because the Babadook doesn't exist. Neither do bisexuals. So that's what everybody would joke, that the B in LGBT was because it stood for Babadook, because we don't exist.
Oh my.
The Babadooks.
Oh my!
That's so flattering. The Babadook, yes,
so flattering.
Gosh,
yes,
great comparison.
My sexuality is generational trauma.
Oh my gosh! Holy cow! All right.
I'm gonna take Charlie's moving on.
That's glossing over and moving on. Oh my gosh! So Todd, you're a big Harry Potter person. April's a big Harry Potter person. I am by association. Katie, where do you land with Harry Potter?
I'm Ravenclaw.
Oh, okay. So she took it to the next level. I was just asking if you liked it. But yeah, with everything going on at Warner Brothers Discovery and with issues with J.K. Rowling in the last few years that we don't need to get into in terrible depth, and the I think relative failure of the new trilogy that they tried to launch. I don't know how that did. I know that nobody is raving about it. I know I didn't see the last one of what was the Wonderful Beast? They're in the case or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the first two, and then I just hated how they were making the characters do things that seemed completely counterintuitive to how they had behaved.
Right.
So I did not bother seeing the third.
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't either. Yeah, none of us have seen the third. So yeah,
but this is
I heard it's the best of the three, but I'm like, that's saying like it's.
Well, see, and I really enjoyed the first one. I thought the first one was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. But at any rate, this is talking about, and again, it's from a rumor, but it does cite a source close to, I don't know. I don't know. We're just going to call it a rumor of a, as I've mentioned, a dump and scrub, which is a term that used in my family business growing up when you completely dumped all the chemicals out of a photo processor and loaded it again. So basically starting the franchise all over again, if you can imagine it. Now, we had the first Harry Potter movie in 2001, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, that's less often than how they reboot Spider-Man. So it has it has a possibility. But yeah, I mean, the effective lifeline of, without working with any of the heritage characters, which is not something they've talked about, rebooting it seems like it would be a pretty natural direction to go, don't you think?
I feel like they're misunderstanding why Harry Potter isn't doing well right now. We don't need a reboot.
Well, I mean, Todd, you're a fan as well. Is a reboot needed, or can they do something? I mean, if they just bring back, could they do like a Star Wars sequel trilogy? Let's just focus on the first segment, which is the one that most people like. Do you think that would be more successful?
I mean, it's a world. I mean, that's the thing. It's like the world, if it's rich enough, can have lots of cool stories, not related to just Harry Potter.
Right.
The world came before and after, and we know with you guys love Star Trek. I enjoy Star Trek. They've gone in the past. They've gone in the future.
Right.
I think if the world is strong enough, I thought, and it's funny because IGN did like their April Fool's jokes, and they did basically a fake trailer for a series on is it the Inquisitors? I'm trying to remember the group of basically cop police, the magic police,
the police cops.
Yeah,
yes,
police
the
cops.
Inquisitors. Yes,
and I thought that was kind of a cool idea where they would investigate crimes of the magical kind and what is going on, and or even and it's funny because we're getting a Hogwarts Legacy game where essentially you are a student at Hogwarts. You're not Harry Potter. You're just a student having an adventure, learning your path. And I'm like, I think there's a lot of cool pockets. Maybe even go to a different school. Don't go to Hogwarts. Go to one of the other magic schools.
Well, that's what I feel like they try to dabble with in the Fantastic Beasts, because those wizards and witches were from America, and they made mention of whatever the hell school that was, but they didn't do anything with it, or at least maybe they did in the third movie. But by then, I was like, it just didn't.
I think they just try to replicate Voldemort with another bad guy, and they had to stop him.
And
it was more.
Yeah,
it was more like the setup to how Voldemort came to be and what was like the precursors of the Deathly Hallows type of movement, or the Death Eaters movement, and like the wizarding first type of mentality.
Gotcha. So, but anyway, obviously it's a huge hot property. It's big at Universal Studios. Todd, is this one that you saw when you were down there? Because you were down there last year.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the first parks that truly tried to build like you're walking into that world. Star Wars has done it since. It's wonderful. Yeah. If you're a fan of Harry Potter at all, it's worth going. It's so much fun. You can interact with world. You get your wand, which I have my wand, and it's great.
Yeah.
My.
Yeah, I really love Harry Potter. I really enjoyed them. Like I was reading them as the books came out, and I just don't know if they'll be able to do anything truly successful and new with J.K. Rowling still being attached to it.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the hard part. Is it seems like unless they get her out of it, then there's a lot of individuals, myself included, where I'm like, I love that, but I'm not going to be consuming any officially licensed content anymore, just because I know that that's going to ultimately go back to her.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars with Lucas, right? Lucas was going to have a certain vision of Star Wars, and as long as he was in control, that's kind of what you're getting now with Disney. They can do different things, whether you like it or not. At least it's different voices and different stories.
Correct.
Yeah,
and like you said, in voices, more than one.
Someone just needs to buy the licensing out from her and just get her out of it.
Right.
Otherwise, I don't know if it'll really be able to continue to be successful.
It's always going to have that anchor attached to it with her and her, toxic cloud. Yeah. So anyway, obviously we don't have any firm on this, but as always, as things develop, we will bring it to you. So Todd, I did this next one for you.
Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome.
Apparently, there are more of the MCU specials planning to launch. After 2 successful specials, including Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, it essentially, I think, has really captured the attention to say, we can tell very tight, smaller stories to introduce characters in a very entertaining way, where you can really capture excitement, the core of the character, and introduce them without having to develop an 8-episode long arc where it lags. It's okay. There's some good episodes.
1 or 2 episodes.
It doesn't hit the landing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think, and this makes a lot of sense because Marvel has a billion D characters, and let's be honest, not everybody deserves their own series, but can be supporting characters, have interesting stories. Yeah, exactly. So this is a great way to introduce more and more characters in a way that you don't have to have watched 8 episodes of something to kind of get a feel for the character, which I think is awesome. Now, at this point, we could see that with more spin-offs of the characters that were introduced, including Man-Thing and also Bloodborne. But essentially, this opens the door to introduce other characters within they call it the Midnight Suns universe, which could be, well, Blade's getting a movie, Ironheart's getting her own movie, but we could get like other characters within that, like Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, right?
Right.
They're not bringing Nicolas Cage back for that. Sorry, folks.
Oh, man. But he has the immeasurable talent or whatever. What is he? The unbearable weight of super duper talent. What was that movie he was in?
Yes. Yeah, that's the one, Charlie. It's exact title. But yeah, I mean, so I think this is a cool format that I would love to see more done with it. Katie, I don't know if you've watched both of them or not.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I think Werewolf by Night, that is probably my second favorite Marvel product at this point.
Yeah.
Beaten out only by She-Hulk. Just because the story was fantastic, the acting was spot on and just absolutely fantastic. All of the characters just chewed the scenery that they were in, and just the homages to classic horror in the way that it was done was absolutely wonderful. So I would love to see just the allowance of more creativity in the way that they're making stuff, so it doesn't have to be kind of that cookie cutter type Marvel product. And I think we are seeing more of that, with She-Hulk and with Werewolf by Night. They definitely branched out from that kind of like beat A, beat B, BC, of what you have to do. So I would be absolutely thrilled if they're like, let's step out of the box. People seem to be enjoying these, and let's see what we can do with it.
Rock and roll. Good deal.
Yeah,
well, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Those are some of the bigger successes I think that they've had since they've been on TV, those little shots. So Star Wars news, Todd. And this is one I missed. I feel like I missed this from, it was only a week ago. But I was never big on that. What the hell was that Scott Pilgrim movie? But Mary Elizabeth Winstead was the star of that. And that's what I remember from it. And now they're talking about her maybe being Hera Syndulla in Ahsoka. So, and I know, Katie, this is really right on your buzz because you love Ahsoka. You're a very big Clone Wars kind of person. So what would you think about this as casting?
I love it. Give her blue contacts. I love it.
Yes, indeed. The big Leku. So, Todd, you enjoyed Rebels, as I recall.
I did.
here and there.
I liked Rebels far more than Clone Wars. Clone Wars was not my bag of tricks, but I liked Rebels because it was new characters, didn't know what was going to happen. They added a lot of mythology. I thought they did some really cool things. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's funny. She's an actress that is embedded in a lot of things, but she's not really had that one like big
breakout.
Outstanding role. Exactly. She was in. God,
Cloverfield, the 10 Cloverfield Lane. She was her and John Lithgow. Or John
that's
Lithgow.
right, exactly.
John Goodman,
she's so good when you see her, but sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I don't remember what she's been in.
She's the that chick version of it's that guy.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
But I did not know this, but she was, speaking of things I didn't know, she was in or didn't remember, she was in Death Proof with Rosario Dawson. I think she was in that scene where, was it Kurt Russell, where he's like the race car driver who,
I
wants
know the
to kill
movie.
people in the car.
I know the movie, but I haven't seen. Is that the one where the girl has an M16 as a leg, or is that
no? That's part of the whole
the
movie
machete
scene.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Death Proof was one of the Kurt Russell was basically a race car driver who built a car that was death proof, and he would like put people in the car with him, but their seat wasn't death proof. So then he would like crash and they die. It was very weird. Very weird.
Talk about the devil's in the details. Death proof.
So weird.
Read the fine print.
But they have acted together, so this is cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for this, and I am curious about the Ahsoka story because that is supposed to be in time with Mandalorian, right? It's not going to be like flashbacks.
Yes.
It's going to be like current time.
Well, I mean, there's always a propensity for flashbacks, but the
no
story
back
itself,
to tank backs.
Yes, no back to tank fever dreams. Ooh, yeah, exactly. Where you're dreaming about Tusken Raiders or whatever. So, yeah, but this is good. And Ahsoka is one of the properties we're getting out of Star Wars this year. It's Mando in this, and then Bad Batch is coming back. Katie, I know you love Bad Batch. That's going to be back the week that you're listening to this episode. If you listen to it when it comes out, so we will be talking about that over in Holocron, and I bet we'll get Katie involved. I just have a feeling.
Possibly.
So anyway, well, cool. Well, that wraps up the news. Todd, it's time to get out the Fuber app, the Feeble app, because we don't want to pay the real rates. It's time to get down to the Geek Easy, down to Nastyville, to talk about what we're enjoying. So let's go.
Talk nerdy to me. Talk nerdy to me.
We're sitting in the Geek Easy, drinks are poured, and we are ready to get our nerd on. Katie, you are first.
Yes. So it took me a second because I'm like, what am I doing right now? And I realized I just started the audiobook of Children of Blood and Bone, which was written by Tommy Ademia. I don't know exactly how to pronounce her last name. And it's narrated by, I think, Bonmi Turpin. And it is an absolutely awesome book. So far, I think I'm only like 5 chapters in. But so far, it's been a really great kind of magical realism type of deal. I don't want to go into too much spoilers, but I would say, yeah, if you like kind of magical stuff, do it. Just do
magical stuff.
Just do it. Read the book or do magic.
Well, yes.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, long and short of it is that it's set kind of in a fictional country, kind of with like an African vibe. Because Tommy is she's a Nigerian American, and there's this group or subset of people in the world that are born with white hair. They're said that they're touched by the gods, and there's 10 different tribes that had different abilities based on which god they were, quote unquote, touched by or which one they served. And they were magi. And when they turned 13, then they would start their training. But something happened where the king actually like wiped out magic and like killed everyone who was magic, and they became kind of second-class citizens.
Whoopsie.
So you're following this this girl as this, as all of this kind of plays out, and she's a diviner. She's trying to learn like what happened and all of that kind of cool stuff. So definitely really, really good. I would say if you liked ones like Binti or any of the other ones, or the Witch of Asante, I believe it's called, I would definitely say that this one is right up your alley.
Nice.
And then I'm also rewatching She-Hulk because that's my comfort show.
There you go.
Very cool.
Hold on. Todd doesn't believe in comfort shows. Back off. No, I'm just
Do what you want. Do what you want this
she
morning.
I
gets-
didn't realize I was
She gets to do
saying
what she
something
wants.
so controversial.
No, I'm just a firm believer that I don't rewatch stuff. I just don't. There's just not enough time in like life to like rewatch stuff, so I just don't.
For me, I feel like it's just the Star Treks, even though I've seen them a million times, but we do it for the show. And so, but even then, I'm doing other shit because I'm like, yeah, I've watched this episode 40,000 times, but I got to make sure I'm on the button. But yeah, I much less certainly than I used to. So because of the deluge of content. That
Charlie says everybody does. I'm like, I think some people do, some people don't. I think the majority of people don't really because they just aren't that passionate about something, watching it over and over again. I think most people fall in the trap of they're right in the middle. They may watch something twice. But
if you have kids like Mark, what's that show Bluey? You have to watch Bluey.
Oh, yeah. Well, I watch. If you ask me about the Wiggles, how many times I watched all the Wiggles, I would tell you a lot.
Every segment of Thomas the Tank Engine because of my kids. Yes, all three of my sons. Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. All right. So Todd finally, and it was not only you saying it, but it was my very old friend Tammy said, "Oh, I saw this. You got to go see it. Violent Night." We went and saw that the other evening. What a fun romp that has now found its way onto our Christmas list.
I don't know if that would be described as fun romp.
Well, have you seen it, or you're just aware of it?
Oh, Aaron saw it, so I know about it.
Oh, okay.
But I have not had a chance to see it. But I do believe that's just Santa Claus going on a murder spree, isn't it?
It's Santa Claus Die Hard. It's Santa Claus and Die Hard. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. What's funny is that because obviously April and I saw it together, and she was like, "I didn't see trailers or anything, so even just from the poster, I thought it was like Santa was the villain just going around killing people." And I'm like, well, I said, well, I have a little bit more context out it because we talked about the trailer like 2-3 months ago, and then Extra went to go see it. But it was great. It had a lot of really not a lot of names in it besides Leguizamo, who is the villain, Scrooge, and then of course Santa himself was David Harbour from Stranger Things. And then you had Beverly D'Angelo was the wicked mother, who the spoilers, sorry, on Christmas night, which really you get the context from the trailer. This wealthy family is being ripped off by this team of villains, just like in Die Hard, and the real honest to God Santa Claus, who has a bit of a drinking problem, is delivering presents at the same time in another level of this great compound where this crime is happening, and gets trapped because his reindeer get spooked and they take off. So then he has to kind of rediscover his origins. He's really a Norwegian warlord from 1,000 years ago. Didn't really touch that origin, but maybe that's for the sequel. Don't know.
There's actually a comic. There's actually a comic called Claws that kind of touches on that as well. Yeah.
But no, it was great. The violence doesn't stay graphic. It gets little touches because eventually Santa gets his hands on a sledgehammer, which was his ancestral weapon, and that gets a little grungy. And there may also be a snowblower involved that might be one of the assassins going into it. I don't know, but at any rate.
There's a bit of Home Alone in it too, with a kid, which I thought was funny.
Quite literal, but a lot more vicious. Because that sucks. Because when that Home Alone, that was the exact moment I had to get up and use the bathroom, so I didn't see the first guy do anything but fall down and get the nail in his face. But I assume it got worse from there. But yeah, it's on the Christmas list now, right up there with Die Hard, even though it's, like I said, a little bit more visceral. So yeah, I'd recommend it. It was a good time. So Todd, at my recommendation, did you watch Clerks 3 because it's on VOD?
I haven't, but I'm going to.
You should. Well, I will not say a ton. This is Kevin Smith is a weird animal. We've talked about it a lot. We talked about Clerks a lot. Couldn't even lure Katie into watching 1994's independent film Clerks because, as we ended up talking about it, it's just not really a holding up kind of film, but it's very special to Todd and I because we were in college when it was going on, and the characters Dante and Randall in it are just a couple of years older than us, so we're really kind of the same in their geeks because they talk about Star Wars and stuff. But in the second Clerks film, Dante and Randall went into business and they bought the Quick Stop, which was the place they worked in the first film that had burned down. They rebuilt it, and then this jumps forward 15 years, and you're learning about what's going on in their lives. And what we got from the trailer, so Todd, I won't spoil anything you didn't see in the trailer, is that Randall, one of the two main characters, has a heart attack, which is what happened to Kevin Smith in real life. And then he wants to make a movie of his life. And then that's really where the film goes. There are a lot of grown moments where Kevin Smith is bringing in, his cronies like Ralph Garman, who I absolutely cannot stand because he's super one note. I listened to that podcast for a long time until it was just absolutely beat for beat, the same shit, all the same impressions, all the same this and that. I just couldn't take it anymore. But the film does have a lot of heart, particularly around Dante's character. And there's a twist at the end that is kind of heartbreaking that I didn't see coming. So I would recommend it. It's on video on demand. I did purchase it. I'm not giving you my password, everybody, but you know what? Go out there and support an independent filmmaker and someone who made what in some ways I feel like was one of the better things that I think he's ever made. So, yeah.
It's good to hear because I know you kind of soured on him, and I've literally walked away from most of this movies because I just feel like he just does what he wants regardless of quality. And I had heard good things about this one. Was more like heartfelt, personal, which I'm like, that's good. That's what you should do as a filmmaker. Try to do things that are, personal and heartfelt.
Exactly correct. So I would recommend it. So Todd, segueing into you, we both managed to get this movie in, and this was one that I missed in the theaters because I'm like, babe, we got to go see it, and we were ready to go see it the day after it was gone because it was only in theaters for a week.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Okay, good.
No spoilers.
All right, we'll keep it lean.
So Glass Onion. This is the rare movie that I actually watched with my whole family and my mom as well. So it was kind of fun because I had seen Knives Out. This is essentially the Benoit Blanc series of movies, which I think Ryan would rather have them called than a Knives Out movie. I think it's really
and there was a bit of a flap around that because that's how Netflix took the marketing. He's like, that's not what I wanted.
Because you don't have like Agatha Christie novels like called like a certain series if it's Miss Marple or if it's this. It's just these are the series of mysteries with a specific detective. You could call them the Poirot mysteries or the Marple mysteries if you wanted to. And I think that would be a better thing. Is like this is the Benoit Blanc mysteries, which would be cool. Right. But yeah, this is essentially another story of Benoit Blanc. It takes place, not really a spoiler, Katie, but does happen around COVID is a part of it. So it's really embracing that reality. And it's kind of a goof movie. I mean, we've got a great cast. It's, once again, bring people together. A murder happens. And that's really all I really want to say from a plot perspective. But we get some really good performances from a lot of different actors and actresses. We get a little bit more about Benoit's like real life, which when you see that part, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And this is really, I would say, Janelle Monáe this is probably the biggest role she's had in regards to getting to showcase herself. I mean, she's kind of a multi-tiered talent, and she definitely makes the most of the role. And I will say this, Edward Norton, man, that guy, when he just embraces something and just wants to do a certain type of character, he really goes after it. I'm glad he doesn't take himself seriously anymore, which is great. And he just has a lot of fun with it. So I think, and I would say this, I did not think this was as good as Knives Out. I don't know why, but for some reason, good, but just, I don't know, something about Knives Out just did some really cool things. This one, you really have to really go, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm along for the ride a little bit more. And it does really harp on kind of, let's put it this way. Douchey, big company execs is a big theme of this movie. So you'll notice all
touching upon anything going on in the world right now.
No. So this one might feel a little bit less timeless in a viewpoint that it might be like 10 years later. I don't know if everyone would get all of the jokes because some of those things are ephemeral where they're just going to go away and you don't remember them. So there is a bit of recency in this movie that I don't know. And that's probably maybe where it kind of pulled me out a little bit, but they do a good job with it. And Dave Bautista, man, what a nice guy.
Yeah. Such a nice guy. Yeah.
Such a nice man.
I enjoyed it very much as I enjoyed, Knives Out. Ryan Johnson gets all the vitriol obviously from the community for people who are butthurt about The Last Jedi, blah, 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 whatever, yada, yada, yada. Super talented guy. And this was written and directed, so this is 100% his baby. So he does good work. He's a talented guy. Brought in a great cast. Kate Hudson, the woman who played Agatha on the WandaVision.
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, thank you. Yeah, like you said, Batista, Ed Norton, Janelle Monáe, just a wonderful cast. They all played their bits and pieces. Lots of twists and turns. There was no clear villain, like, oh, it's definitely so and so, or a lot of different ways to toss this up and down. I enjoyed it. And I would watch again. But yeah, the timelessness of it is somewhat in doubt when you compare it to potentially Knives Out. Not that he wants anybody to compare it to Knives Out. Whoops, sorry.
Yeah, very good. Check it out on Netflix. It's well worth watching. So, Katie, hopefully you'll get to see that soon.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to it. And once I get home, I know Aaron wants to watch it, but I've been away for like 2 weeks. So we haven't been able to watch any of the movies that we've wanted to watch together. So, but we very, very much enjoyed Knives Out, the original, I guess we can say. So I'm very excited to see that they have kind of made a spiritual sequel to it.
Excellent. And then lastly, I watched the first episode of call it a miniseries. It's 4 episodes long, and that is The Witcher Blood Origin. This is it's basically, the setup is kind of cool. So if you're a big fan of The Witcher, it does the series. It takes in Jaskier, who's essentially a bard. He's buddies with Geralt of Rivia. And the premise is very quickly set up where essentially there is I guess it'd be an elf mage played by, I'm blanking her name from Good Will Hunting, the brunette.
Oh, I know who it is. Minnie Driver. There you go.
Playing an elf who essentially tasks Jaskier with composing a ballad or a song of a forgotten tale to bring back the memory of a certain thing that happened in elf history. So I thought that was a cool way of setting up kind of like, now it's a prequel and it happens 1,200 years in the past. Essentially setting the stage to talk about...
That's the only kind of doable prequel, is something that's so far back that it's not going to be like, and here's so-and-so, and blah, 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 this thing and made Lando a sandwich or something. You know what I mean? It's just...
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think we're seeing more of those where it's like the Lord of the Rings of Power did that, where there's like a billion years in the past. Same thing with House of Dragons, millions of years in the past. We're going to see that with Star Wars with not High Republic, the Acolyte, which I think is around the High Republic era, which is 100, 200 years, which is good. But this one does a pretty good job. So it's essentially, and even Jaskier says when he gets the summary of the plot that Minnie Driver gives him, he goes, "Oh, well, we've heard that plot a million times." And he goes, "Well, what about this, this, and this?" He goes, "Nope, those are all new things we haven't heard about." So I like what this is doing so far. It does look a little on the cheap. When I looked at it, I'm like,
yeah.
But the dialogue's pretty good. The action's fairly well done. Michelle Yeoh is a main character in this, which is cool. And it's only 4 episodes long. So I think it's not going to probably outstay its welcome, which is exciting for me. And I like The Witcher, and Netflix doesn't own a lot of IP. And because they kind of own the stories based on the books, this is their way to really establish something. So so far I'm intrigued to see where it goes. The first episode does take a turn. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting approach. So if you're interested in fantasy with a different take, this may be an interesting standalone for you. It doesn't require you to have watched The Witcher or read the books or the games. So this might be a good way to get into this type of property.
I mean, I might give it a stab. I like 4 episodes because then you don't feel like, oh God. And then having the lack of commitment to the lore or this and that, because obviously anything like that, I think maybe that's where I got hung up trying Witcher out the first time. I was like, oh boy. And fantasy's not my jam, but I tried.
Yeah. The first season Witcher's iffy. It does a lot of timey-wimey things. It gets better halfway through, but once again, it's a commitment.
Yeah. Commitments. Oh, my goodness. Well, all right. Well, that takes us out of the Geek Easy. See, I'm practicing. I'm not mixing up my segments no more. But it is time, as the time comes, got to get down to Land Down Under, get out that Air Qantas app. It's time for the Thunderdome. Tina and the mutants await, where we do our 2023 preview. Let's go.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
Thank you, Tina. We're sitting in the Thunderdome where the mutants have been gathered for a topic or a game to be entertained. And this week, we're looking ahead to 2023 and all the things we're going to be seeing, as far as we know now, in comics, movies, and TV. Mark and I just did one on video games, so if you want to learn about what's coming out in 2023 in video games, listen to Co-op Mode, which will be dropping most likely tomorrow rather than not today. And if you're listening to this now, it's out. So check it out then.
Look how quickly time passed.
Yes. So we're going to start with comics. So thanks to Book Riot, they actually have a nice little snapshot of things that are coming out in 2023. One of the first things called Archie versus the World. This is Archie and Veronica and the rest of the gang are familiar to all of us, but now imagine them in a post-apocalyptic fight of their lives. It's somewhat bewildering, nonsensical, and brilliant all the same, but maybe don't tell grandma that this is what Archie is up to these days. I love the cover of this. It looks awesome. I would definitely check this out.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'll tentatively, yes. Intrigued.
All right. Now, this is another one called Lazarus Planets by DC, by Mark Waid, which I really love. And this is essentially, it's kicking off from Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. And it's all about a Lazarus volcano exploding. If you know anything about the Lazarus Pits, now we've got a Lazarus volcano. Guys, I am aghast, but not surprised.
DC stuff is hard to grab me, so afraid not.
I feel like they've jumped the volcano on this one.
Oh,
probably.
Ouch.
Probably. Yep. And then we got Torrent, a new book by Mark Guggenheim. Says this is by Image. And it's basically it's a new series kicking off a new superhero universe. This story focuses on the hero Crackerjack. At least she's a hero until tragedy pushes her too far. Image does some really cool books.
Oh my!
That sounds great. I want to read it.
All right. I will listen to a summary.
It's coming in February, so look for it there. Hopefully, it'll come to Comixology as well, because that's a good way to read comics. Charlie, next one, Captain America: Cold War by Colin Kelly, and basically, it's got Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson. They're colliding. Essentially, Wakanda Nomad Bucky and the Outer Circle will also play roles in the crossover comics coming in 2023.
A crossover event. I would love to get back on Captain America. So who knows? Maybe this could be it.
Nothing is stopping you.
Maybe eventually, but for now, pass.
All right.
Fair.
We get Green Lantern, Hal Jordan by Mariko Tamaki. Great writer. This is awesome. Basically, we're finally getting Hal Jordan back in a series. His last series was by Grant Morrison. It was really too weird for me. It was like a space cop, but he did some odd things. So I'm glad we're getting more of this, but he's trying to find his place among the Green Lantern Corps and among Earth's heroes. John Stewart has really been kind of the lead Green Lantern, so it's good to see Hal back as well. I think that's a great thing about the Green Lantern. They have so many of them that they all get to shine in their own way with green light. Did you like how I did that? The green light shining.
I could jump in on this. I like me some Green Lantern.
Yeah. Then we got Light Carries On by Ray Nadine. This is Dark Horse coming out in April. Cody is Dead. Queer punk rocker who haunts Leon. Of course, Leon has no idea until he uses a borrowed antique camera, discovers a ghostly image is there. Cody doesn't know how he died, and so he enlists Leon's help to solve the mystery.
Yes.
That looks cool.
As a photographer and also as queer, I want this.
I think this looks like a hipster masterpiece. I'm all over it.
Hipster masterpiece.
Yes,
Charlie knows his
100%.
hipsters. Clearly. Katie
wears a fedora every day. We can tell.
To one side.
Exactly. Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow by Kenny Porter. This is part of the dawn of DC, so it's going to be new comics that are coming out, focusing on different characters. Connor Kent is an old character back in the day when, remember, the reign of Superman? This was one of them, Superboy. He's got a big fan base, and people really like him, but he's basically a clone of Superman, so he's had a weird space, so this could be good. It's by Kenny Porter. Don't know much about him as a writer. Then we've got Ranger Academy by Maria Ingrande Mora. This is Power Rangers. Man, Power Rangers has just had a resurgence in the comics. People love it. My good friend Dan Bauer, he is all about the Power Rangers. He's loved them as a kid. And actually, the Green Ranger actually helped him propose to his wife, who passed along. So, the Power Rangers, though, it's a different age group that loved it. So,
I will leave that for your friend.
Yes, he can enjoy it all the live long day.
Yes. Then we have Us by Sarah Solar. This is Dark Horse Comics in May. It's a graphic novel translated from Spanish. Can love, like the journey between Sarah and Diana, survive that journey? So basically, it's a story, LGBTQ love story. So yeah.
And again, cover looks amazing. I am 100% here.
Yeah, cool pink on white with a blue background. Very simple color scheme, very, very powerful. Then summer comics, we've only got 2. We've got Fall of X. This is essentially leading, hopefully, to the end of the Krakoa storyline and creating a new type of status quo, because this storyline is kind of really drove a lot of fans away. It has some cool concepts, but essentially you've got Moira McTaggart now is turncoat against the mutants, taking on them to take down Krakoa. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. It's just a lot for a lot of people to absorb with the X-Men. We want them to do new things, but for me, it kind of pushed me away. And then the Summer of Symbiotes, Charlie.
Ooh,
I guess they're all going on a vacation.
Yay. Sun's out, tongue's out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, big events kind of scare me, but I know that I'll end up touching some of the spin-offs or probably some of the tie-ins if they're going to be the Spider-Man comics. So I will end up having to read it eventually by de facto.
Very cool. Well, if you've got the Comixology app, you've got DC Unlimited, and then you've got Marvel, you'll be able to get a lot of these stories for free with your subscription. So if you don't want to check them out right away, you can get them when they're cheaper. But with that, we move on to TV. So we'll go through this pretty quickly. In January, we've got The Bad Batch.
Woo, that's Katie.
Yes.
So this is so we're doing, folks, it's a watch it or skip it.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Skip it. Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches. This is coming on AMC.
Watch it.
I'm intrigued.
Skip it.
I may watch it. The Last of Us season 1.
Watch it.
Skip it.
Lockwood and Company. This is a ghost hunting type of show on Netflix. I might watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
A third option. Maybe.
Maybe. It goes into your watch list or whatever for later. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Velma. This is the animated series with Mindy Kaling coming to HBO Max. I will watch it.
Watch it.
Watch it.
All right. February. Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. This is animated.
Watch.
I'm gonna devour that thing.
I'll watch it. Yeah.
Like the Devil Dinosaur.
Like a dinosaur.
If I'm right, this might be Marvel's first real animated Marvel series, except for What If in the MCU.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Star Trek Picard season 3.
Duh.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
No choice.
I will watch it with reservations.
Such reservations, absolutely.
Carnival Row. This series is coming back after it launched. It's on Amazon Prime. It was basically fairies in living with real humans, magic people. I didn't watch much of the first season, so I'll probably skip it. Superman Lois season 3. I will probably skip it.
Oh, watch.
Yeah,
we liked it.
The Flash season 9. I will skip it.
Skip it.
Harley Quinn, a very problematic romantic Valentine Day special.
I would say, is that part of the HBO?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we talked about it.
It's a one shot. Yeah. I'll eventually watch it because I'm still on season 1. I'm like, I just got to make the time to watch it.
I found out I turned it back on. I had one episode left, so now I'm caught up.
Oh, very good, Charlie.
There we go.
Then March, Mandalorian season 3.
Duh. Come on now.
Yes.
What, Katie?
Yes.
Okay, I think said Miss. I'm like, is that a new one? Watch it. And then
Mandalorian.
Then Gotham Knights season 1, which might be the last CW DC show. This is a skip. I looked at the trailer. It looked like hot garbage.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So then we got a couple things that don't have release dates, but we figured that should be coming out this year. Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
Yep.
Watch it.
Watch it. Ahsoka.
Yep.
Watch it.
Watch it for me. Yep. Echo.
Yep.
Definitely watch it.
Watch it, but once again, a character I don't know if she needs a whole season, but I'll watch it.
Right. Yeah.
Ironheart. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Watch it.
Loki season 2.
Totally.
Watch it.
Watch it. Yep. Secret Invasion.
Big time watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah, this is my most anticipated MCU thing. Definitely Secret Invasion. Umbrella Academy season 4.
Skip it.
Yeah, didn't care for it.
I am watching it season 2 was fantastic. One of the best shows. I'm on it. Discovery season 5.
Clearly.
Yes, watch it.
Yes, watch it myself. Yep, very excited to see where they go. Strange New World season 2.
Gimme.
Watch it.
Yep, watch it.
Yes.
Definitely. X-Men 97, a pseudo sequel
Watch
to the
it.
animated.
Yeah.
I will be watching it.
Yes.
Bring it on.
I hope they keep the big hair. I just want all of them to have the massive, like, 80s drawing.
Well, now
Right.
it's 97. What were people doing?
Right.
This is like the Friends, the Jennifer Aniston haircuts. Everybody's looking at that.
Long,
I don't
scraggly hair, like college hair. So,
Yeah, big. Yeah, awesome. Harley Quinn season 4.
yeah.
Watch it.
it.
Yes.
And then we've got the Boys spin-off, Gen V.
Yes, with the puppets.
I'll be watching.
Skip it.
Aw.
Okay, that's what we know about 2023. There'll be more stuff coming, so stay tuned. Movies. January gets off with Megan.
M3 Gan.
Yes, M3 Gan, yes.
Oh man, yeah. So I'm all for this one. I've been the trailers because it just looks absolutely ghastly. So bad in a good way.
So creepy
the bad
looking.
way? Yeah.
So creepy looking. But yeah, I'll probably watch it.
I'll skip it.
Good decision. You're smarter than us, Katie.
Probably so.
February, we get to Knock at the Cabin. This is M. Night Shyamalan's new movie. Apparently, a new trailer just dropped for that. I will watch.
I will.
I will skip.
Didn't love the beach that makes you get old, but anyway, we see his stuff.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah.
I will watch it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think it's required at this point
It
that
is.
you watch it.
it is. You're all locked in.
I'll lose my podcasting license.
I
Right.
know.
if I
Yeah,
don't
there's
watch
certain
it.
things you have to watch, regardless of if you really want to. Then Cocaine Bear. Is this going to be the new
Oh.
Snakes on the Plane?
I hope so.
I will watch it just based off of the title. I don't even know what it
Oh, we
is.
talked about it on the show, Katie. You're not listening.
There's
to
a
the show. I'm
after
horrified.
after this.
I need to catch up.
Watch
Yes,
the
please.
trailer after this episode, Katie. Is
Yes,
all I'll
please
say.
do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I'll watch it. March we get Scream 6. Definitely watching it.
For sure.
Probably skip it.
Then we have Shazam: Fury of the Gods. I will be watching this.
Totally.
I will skip it.
Oh boy. All right.
65. Why is this in the wrong order? That should
Oh,
have
I don't
been
know.
like moved up, I think. Maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
think
wrong.
that's in January.
I thought it was in January too. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it comes
yeah.
out in like a week. Anyway, yes, we already know that we'll all watch it.
Then we have John Wick Chapter 4. I will watch
Eh.
it, but I have to watch Chapter 3 first, which is I will be doing.
Don't care for it. Thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip it.
Then we have Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, March 31st in theaters. I think it looks like dumb fun, so I watch.
Yes. Patented
Yeah,
Todd
I'm
Oxford
gonna watch that
dumb
one.
fun. I'm in.
Then we get to April, the Super Mario Brothers movie, April 7th. I am watching it.
Probably so.
It's, yeah, I might wait for streaming.
I'm also relatively iffy.
All right, Renfield. This is the Nick Cage vampire movie.
Oh, I think I just saw a thing for this. Yeah, I dig it. I like him.
Sure.
It's got Nicholas Hoult and a few other stars in it too, so why not? Come for Nick Cage. Why not?
Right.
Evil Dead Rise. This is essentially the sequel to the last Evil Dead movie by Fede Alvarez. I never saw it because it looked really too like humorless versus
Right.
that
Agreed.
series. Like they have some humor, so I'll probably skip it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th. This is the beginning of our summer movie wager time period.
Yeah,
Katie,
I
if
hear
you're
ya.
Katie, if you're interested in playing, I think we're going to do one with the SFU Brain Trust this year. We'll have a competition there. I think it'll be the right time to do it.
Right. But
so-
obviously
Oh,
we're all,
yes.
but obviously we're all seeing it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Then we got Fast X Your Seatbelt. Fast 10 Your Seatbelt.
Fast 10 your seatbelts. You
Fast
got it.
X.
I mean, these movies are shit, but we'll see them.
I'm gonna skip it. I'm not gonna spend money on that.
I am not going to break my chain of never seeing one of these damn movies. So I've never seen one. I will probably skip this one as well. The Little Mermaid, May 26th. I
Yes.
don't
Nah.
like weird blending of like CGI fish creatures. They're going to be singing. It's going to be weird. I don't think
Yeah.
this works at all, like in a live action, that type of format. If they're not singing and they play it straight, probably more sense. I just don't want to see a crab with lips singing under the sea with a person. That just doesn't work for me.
All right.
Just
You're rambling now, extra.
Okay.
Keep it
Well, 'cause
moving. Keep it moving.
Everybody wants to hear my fish take.
Hot fish take.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely watching it. Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I will see this because I love Beast Wars. And this is, and Michael Bay has nothing to do with this, thank God.
Oh, well, that's reason enough.
Yes.
Then Elemental, man. I hope Pixar gets a win again, but this is essentially a flame loves a water dew. They're basically a world of elementals. So I will watch it.
Sure, why not?
Yes, I will watch
it. Wow. Then we got Flash, June 23rd.
I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah,
I have to see this train wreck because I got to see what this thing is.
I didn't see the Flash.
I'm not going to give them money for that. I will watch it later, maybe when I am very drunk, so I can yell at the screen.
You can do that in the theater. Nobody's really going to stop you. They have booths at Celebration Cinema.
Then Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, June 30th.
Yes, I'm all for it. I don't want to call the movie the summer because I tend to absolutely jinx things, so I'm not going to do that.
Katie?
I'm going to skip it probably. That's a streaming movie for me.
Oh, man. Oh, well.
Yep. I love my classic indies, but they haven't really done a great job.
He's old.
With the newer stuff.
He's old now.
I'll give him a chance. No, I'm excited for it too. It looks like they got the tone right this time. No mutt. So it's a watch. Insidious, Fear the Dark, July 6th. I've never seen an Insidious movie, so I don't know.
We've seen them all. I'm sure we'll go see it.
I'll have Aaron watch it.
Wait,
first.
Is Insidious? Wait, so I'm dumb. Is Insidious the series with Patrick Wilson? And,
yeah, sure is. Yeah, the
I did see the first one. I really liked it. Okay,
yeah, there you go.
I may watch it. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, longest title ever.
Skip it.
I hate these movies, but April loves them, so I'm stuck.
I really like them, but I haven't seen them all. I didn't see the last one with Henry Cavill, so I need to watch that one.
I guess.
So I may watch it. Oppenheimer. Man, this is going to be a crazy film. Apparently,
that movie is going to be the bomb.
They made a real explosion.
What? Oh my God! Yeah, I will say it. It's an event film. I'm in.
I'll probably skip it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll see it. Yeah. Barbie. I will watch this.
Watch it.
The trailer looked fantastic.
Yes.
I'm all over it.
Yep. I'm expecting a Brady Bunch type movie where it's just tongue-in-cheek, goofy fun.
Right.
Or Lego.
Exactly.
Or
I
Lego
think it's
movie.
Going to be absolutely fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we have the Marvels. This movie is low-key. We haven't got... Maybe we'll get a trailer at the Super Bowl, but we haven't seen anything in this. July 27th.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm super excited.
Of course,
yes.
Yeah, I'm all for it. It's required.
It's going to be interesting.
Maybe multiple times.
It's going to be interesting how they pull this thing off with Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and I'd be curious.
Spectrum.
But yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going to be crazy. Then we got Haunted Mansion, August 10th. I know nothing about this movie. The Eddie Murphy one was absolutely horrible, so I hope this is a good one because I love the ride.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have to know more before I can give a decision.
Yeah, there's a lot of these things we haven't seen trailers for, which is just kind of scary that these aren't that far away. Then we have Blue Beetle, August 17th. I am a big fan of the character, and I hope this is not including any of the crappy stuff going around in the DCU. This is just a fun kid finds powers movie.
I mean, we go see them, but this, if it's, there's no buzz for me, so I know.
I will watch it if it does stay true to some of the source material, but if it's, I don't have faith in them to be able to handle him well, so I might just skip it.
Yeah, we need a trailer. We need to get a feel for the tone. So I hopefully will be seeing that if it's good. Then we've got, you know what? We all wanted a sequel to it, The Nun.
Oh my God. Well, we'll see it, but it is of no interest. That's the best way to describe it.
Yes, that's a skip it. The Expendables 4?
Oh my God!
I didn't realize they were
absolutely
that there
not.
were that many.
He's still alive.
I know they keep making him Sly Stallone. He's got a show. He's got a Tyler Sheridan show. Yeah, I'll skip.
I've not seen one of them, so I'll probably be skipping it. Then we get to Kraven the Hunter. October 5th.
Yeah, sure.
After Morbius, yeah, I mean, I have to see it, but yeah, yikes.
I really like Aaron.
Oh, wait, this is Sony, isn't it? Never mind, I don't want to watch that.
It's the Spumco, the Spider-Man.
I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson, though. I really like him, so if he can do like an awesome, really bad Russian accent, that'll be awesome.
You know, they're going to change it around. He'll be Scottish. Don't jinx it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. So I will probably see it. Those are dumb fun.
Yeah,
usually
right.
dumb, just dumb usually, but yeah.
Super dumb.
Then we're getting The Exorcist. Why would they reboot The Exorcist?
Super pass.
Yeah, super pass.
Oh boy, that's a skip.
Not that I'm their target audience.
Yeah.
Saw 10.
No.
Absolutely not.
At home, maybe.
Oh man, those Saw movies.
No.
Oh boy, that's a skip for me.
Yeah, right.
Then we have The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, November 17th.
That's your longest title right there. My God.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
That's more words than Mission Impossible.
That's a huge skip for me. I don't want prequels that
Huge
are
skip.
25 years in the past.
Yeah, I don't care because it's like, what did Snow have for breakfast on the day he decided to kill his mother or whatever? No way.
I bet he's a really nice guy. Yeah.
Yes, he was, but let's find out why now he's not.
His girlfriend broke up
Yes.
with him. And then
He's a broken heart.
Let's make an empathetic villain.
Yes, please. Yeah.
No.
He read bad comments on Twitter, and that's what happened.
Oh yeah, exactly. Social media rage made him a villain.
Yeah. Then we have Dune Part 2. Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely.
And everybody loves it. I know. I'll say it. I have to watch the first one again. Sorry.
Oh my God, it's just a beautiful
It's
movie
okay.
to see. Oh my God, that's a movie
It
you
is.
see in theaters right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonka, December 15th. There's been nothing about this movie except for Timmy C is in this. And he's a handsome young man.
Chalamet. No, I don't feel the fire.
Maybe.
Willy Wonka origin
I think
story.
Chalamet could play off a amazing Wonka.
Wonka.
But yeah, I think at this point, yeah,
Yeah,
streaming. That's streaming for me.
Todd,
like
you didn't slide in here that I think on Christmas Day is Avatar 2. I think.
No,
Is that not in your
that's
thing?
not this year. That's or
Oh,
they're it's not coming next year.
Oh, they spaced out 2 years.
They're spaced out. Yeah, they're spaced
So
out.
we'll get the last one when
Because originally it was supposed to be there was
Security.
going to be a Star Wars movie, then an Avatar movie, and obviously that has gone awry. So
I guess.
yeah. But then the last movie is Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, December 25th. I enjoyed the first one. It was a dumb adventure movie. It did very well. So I like Jason Momoa, so I'll probably see it.
I like Jason Momoa. It's very predictable.
Yeah.
It was boring to me.
Like Avatar. Except,
Well, the question is, will Amber Heard be in this?
I don't know. There's much of a question of that. Yes,
No, I think she's been officially.
Oh,
pulled
has
from
she?
it.
yeah,
Okay.
I think
so,
her train has sailed without a doubt.
Oh, look, she had a twin that looks nothing at all like her. Another queen, Morona.
It's member nerd. Just starting in the movie.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. We went through this list pretty quick, but looking at this movie list, it's putting 2022 to kind of shame, to be honest, because there's a lot more movies over the summer versus last year. It felt like there was a lot of droughts and dips. So
Right, and stuff that didn't do good. It was all just it was the summer of Top Gun, So
Well, I think we're seeing the kind of the revival after the COVID
Right.
because so much stuff stopped, and we're 2 years,
Right,
and now
2-year
going
window.
3 years
Yeah.
past that. So
Yeah.
stuff that was able to start production in 2020 is now going to be able to come to the screen.
bingo. I think you nailed it.
very, very good. Well, that is it for the show, folks. I hope everybody has a great 2023. It's going to be an awesome year. We're very excited for it. But with that, Katie, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at QTGeek. That's Q_T Geek, and I'm on Counter Social under K Quinn.
Rock on, Todd. What about you?
At T Oxtra, also on Hive at Todd of War. And go to secretfriendsunite.com, follow us on at secretfriendsu, and join our Discord. We're having a lot of fun over there.
Yes, indeedly do. You can, of course, find me over on Twitter at the C3. Spell it out. My lovely wife in April and I run the USS Grand Petoskey. That is the West Michigan chapter of the International Star Trek Fan Club, of which Katie is one of our members. Todd, I should spend $5 of my own money and get you involved in the club against your will. I think that's a great idea. All right, new project for 2023. Anyway, you can find us on the website of that same name. And welcome to 2023, everybody. We have got so much in store for you with Secret Friends Unite. You're going to find out about that very quickly, including a great celebrity interview that we're going to drop here this week in order to support the wonderful individual who did it with us. That's it. Friends, as always, thank you for joining us. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring and to keep on trucking.
And wherever you go boldly.
Be the hero, not the villain.
In a truck.
Insert catchphrase to put on a t-shirt.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network. Visit secretfriendsunite.com for more great shows, articles, news, reviews, and more. Secret Friends Unite podcasts are available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and other podcast services around the world. If you'd like to be part of the conversation, you can join us on Facebook or our new Discord server, or follow @SecretFriendsU on Twitter. Please subscribe to Secret Friends Unite on YouTube and visit our merch store at tpublic.com. Just search Secret Friends Unite. Thanks for listening.